Mark, our county chairman, has done great work for the party. Thank you, Mark. Oh, wait, there's more. There's more. We have another chairman, the county commission chairman, Ken Wells. I want you to say a few words. Tell the people what you know.
What I know is we need Charlie Crist to be the next governor. You know, I was just thinking on the way over here how great it would be to have a governor that actually protects voting rights. The environment, you know, fighting against oil drilling, just having good government that is for the people. That's what we really need. And I can tell you as a county legislator, we are fighting just as much with this governor and this legislature as anything else. They are harming what we're trying to do to move our community forward. So Governor, you have my full support. We're looking forward to you being back in office and being a governor for the people of Florida. Thank you.
Well, thank all of you. You know, it's a Sunday, the Sunday before Christmas, which is a special time. I know you got a lot going on in your life and your family and everything. Me too. I had church at 11, this now, we got another thing at 6, but you know, it's a busy time, Gordon. And you know, we gotta get busy. You know, get busy living or get busy dying. We're living, and we got a lot to live for. And I'm so pleased and so humbled that you all are here, especially today. It means a great deal. And we have so much to be grateful for. We live in the prettiest place on God's earth. You know, Florida's special. All of us know that. And there are 4 basic things I really want to talk about. It's education first. You know, I'm a public school kid right here in Pinellas County. I have 3 sisters. 2 of them have been public school teachers right here in Pinellas County. And making sure that we honor our teachers, honor education, give our children the best education possible will lead to what? The best jobs possible. You know, so when I'm going to talk about the opponent a little bit. I know it's Christmas, so I'm going to try to be sweet. But I'm going to be honest. I'm going to be honest. I have a duty. I want you to know that the first session he was governor, he cut education $1.3 billion. Not good. Wrong. And the next session, he cut $300 million from higher ed. You know, that's not a good follow-up. And we can't get good jobs in Florida if we don't have great education for our children.
Right.
Right? And I know that, and you know. So that's number 1. Ethics is number 2. Ethics. What does that mean? Dwight Dudley, my man, is here. This guy's a fighter, and he's a friend forever. And I want you to say a few words, Dwight. You took the time to come here. You ought to have a voice.
I appreciate it.
Speak to the people. Bless you.
Charlie, thank you so much. Guys, thanks for being here. It's so exciting. So many great things are happening, particularly in the area of energy, repealing the utility tax. I'm hoping Charlie's going to be able to come on board in a big way. He was instrumental back in 2009 in helping with renewable portfolio standards, encouraging the business and industry, utilities to share some, to allow people who are manufacturing renewable and alternative type devices to get into the game. Of course, it's been a complete parched desert since then, complete shutdown, but we're hopeful going forward. Because if Charlie is our governor, when Charlie is our governor, we're going to join the new millennium. And we're going to do well like, you know, red and blue states. I mean, even red states are outdoing us, Georgia, so on and so forth. So that's what we have to look forward to, among other things. Obviously, Charlie represents a very moderate point of view that is going to advance us light years from where we are today. And so many can support him. It's not all about being an R or a D or an I. It's about great policy. And Charlie has always gravitated toward great policy. Look at the great things he did, so advanced, so useful in so many ways. So Charlie, I'm so excited. I can't wait for you to win this and get us back on track and doing great things.
So what he said is exactly right. We need to have alternative energy. We need to have fundamental fairness in how energy is distributed in Florida and the bills you have to pay. And that's a big deal. When I was Attorney General, we fought that fight and then continued it as governor. And, you know, hopefully we'll be able to continue to fight that fight again with your help and God's blessing.
I'll be there.
Okay. All right, I'm with you. But there's a lot to be joyful for. There really is, because we're less than a year away.
That's right.
We're just less than, just over 10 months. And we can fix all these things: education, ethics, the environment, the economy. You know, there's so much that we can do, and it won't take us that long to do it. You know, automatic restoration of rights. I mean, you can go on and on and on. It's just unbelievable what we can do, because I've done it before. You know, let me address the elephant in the room. That never could have been more true. I was a Republican, and I was proud to be a Republican at the time, because I believed in the party of Lincoln, the great emancipator, people of compassion. Teddy Roosevelt, who really cared about the environment, Mark, you know this, Mr. Chairman, created our national park system. That's all washed out to sea now, and it's sad to see. And I know some of you were former Republicans too, but I saw the light. And I'll tell you a true story. I started seeing the light in 2009. When I was still governor, as a Republican, I get a call, or our staff does, from the White House. It said, President's gonna have one of his very first visits. It's gonna be to Florida. He's gonna talk about the Recovery Act, the stimulus, and what we can do to get the mortgage crisis under control. He's gonna come to your state, it's gonna come to Fort Myers. And so his staff asked my staff in Tallahassee, would you go be with him, be with Barry? And at any rate, I said, yeah, sure. And my staff, they look at me and they go, are you sure? And I said, yeah, I think so. What's up? He said, you know, he's a Democrat.
Right.
He's the President of the United States of America. What are you talking
That's
about,
right.
you know? This is the right thing to do, so I'm going. And then we started getting word that, you know, maybe he would want, you know, me to introduce him. And so anyway, I didn't hear a whole lot about that, but I thought, well, be prepared, Charlie, just in case. You never know, put a few words down. So I did. And so I go down to Fort Myers. We're at the convention center. The place is jumping. I mean, it's just on fire down there. And it was like a Dwight Dudley event. It was good. It was really good. And that's not a pun. That's true. You know, when this guy fires it up, it gets fired up. Really, you ought to see what he does in Tallahassee, fighting for you, fighting for you. It's a wonderful thing, and we got to get him support. And that's what this is about. More people, more good people up there. So anyway, we're in Fort Myers, and when the president comes in, Ken, wherever he comes in, they fly in his car. Janet, Lord, is it? How are you? Don't be sorry. What are you sorry for? You're here. Don't run away from me. I'm happy to see you. Yeah, I'm in the hood. It's good. All right? You know Janet Long, great county commissioner too. Me either. I wouldn't miss it for the world either. I almost did, but I didn't. That's a whole other story. But at any rate, the president. So he comes in, they fly his car down there. I guess wherever he goes, Ken, you know, they bring in his car. Have you ever seen it on TV? They call it the Beast. You know, it must weigh, I don't know how many tons the thing weighs. It's all safe, and that's great, you know. Man needs it and deserves it, so God bless him. Anyway, he comes in this car called the Beast, a big black Cadillac. And he's sitting alone in the back seat. He comes into the garage at the convention center in Fort Myers. And so I'm there, you know, I see him wave, you know, and he goes, yeah. And so he goes, get in the car. So I get in the car, we're sitting there. And he goes, first, I want to thank you for being here. He said, I know this is at great political strife for you to be here. You're paying a price to be with me. You stand with me. So thank you, number one. Then he said, I don't know if they mentioned to you, I might want you to introduce me. And I said, well, whatever you want. You're the president. It's your call. You're the big quarterback. And he said, well, I think that'd be okay. Why don't we do that? I said, that's fine. And he said, we haven't really orchestrated this out much, but basically there's going to be a podium. There'll be like a catwalk that comes up to it. All the stands are here. He goes, we'll just walk in together. And then you go up to the podium and say what's on your heart. And I'll come up and do my thing, and that'll be it. I said, perfect. Sounds like a plan to me. So we go walking in, and really the place is going crazy. And so I walk up to the podium, introduce myself, said, Governor and whatever. And I said, let's have a nice warm welcome for the President of the United States. And so then he comes walking up to the podium, Dwight, and then a moment happened.
Oh.
Right there together. And Mark, he does this. He gives me a and I hug him back. I was happy to do it. Thank you very much.
And we loved it.
I loved it too.
Good moment.
And, it became in a then Republican primary for the Senate, the hug that killed me. But I am happy to tell you that today, it is truly the hug that saved me. It really did. After that happened, my opponent in the Senate race started sending out mail, political mail like they do, solicitations for money. You know all about it, Dwight. And, but, they always had the picture of me hugging the president and him hugging me, It wasn't inside the envelope on the stationery. It was on the envelope. On the envelope, Well, guess what? The guy we're running against now, he's doing the same thing. Because mom and dad still happen to be Republicans. There's some, that are reasonable, some. And at any rate, so they get this mail from Rick Scott. That's his name, in case you didn't know. I'm calling him out. Rick Scott. Well, why are you voting for Charlie? Rick Scott. Okay? We need change. And I'm not going to be afraid.
Good.
No fear.
Good.
We're going in. I am a nice man,
Yes, you are.
but there's an old expression.
Decent.
Never confuse kindness.
Not a crook.
Never confuse kindness with weakness. So we're not going to be weak. We're going to be strong and good
And kind.
and kind, very kind
And
and honest.
Honest.
So let's talk about it.
Amen
Let's talk about it.
to that, brother.
That's right. Very honest. The guy we're running against, his company paid the largest fine for fraud in the history of the United States of America.
HCA.
Right? Yeah. HCA Columbia.
1.7 billion.
$1.7 billion fine.
Oh, but you didn't hear this.
And he got elected our governor. I don't know how that happens, but I know it ain't gonna happen again.
That's right.
Because you don't fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. Floridians will not be fooled again. Not gonna happen. But I want you to look behind the numbers. The $1.7 billion fine is enough to stagger me and anybody else. And the fact that it was the largest fine in history. And it was for Medicare and Medicaid fraud. Fraud, what does that mean? Think about it. You gotta think about what this is. We're talking about, what we're talking about here.
Ethics.
Fraud is not being honest. And so what was the fraud that they were accused of doing at that company? They call it upcoding. Well, now that's a fancy word. That means charging too much. That means stealing.
No.
Stealing from who? All of us. And from sick people.
And the elderly.
Sick, elderly people. His company stole from sick, elderly people for what? For money. For money. It was a health care company, it's supposed to care. Don't care. Don't care about anything but money. And that's what we're running against. And I'm gonna talk about it every day.
Good.
Because the people of Florida deserve to know and be reminded because he had to plead the Fifth Amendment 75 times. I've never pled the Fifth, not once.
Right.
Not only have I not pled the Fifth, I was your Attorney General. I enforced the law of Florida. And he skirted the law of America. And we're not gonna have that again. Not as hard as and I am a happy warrior. I am happy to tell the truth about the opponent. And he's gonna tell a lot of untruths about your candidate. You know, and you know the drill. He said he's gonna spend $100 million. Well, I don't doubt that they will. And he has said that he's gonna spend $25 million at the outset of this campaign, in the beginning of 2014, Betty, on his opponent, to define his opponent. Here I am. That would be me. I mean, I know there's some other people in the race, but you know the deal. And so I'm happy to do it. I'm gonna walk into a $100 million meat grinder face first. And it begins in about 2 weeks.
Sure, everybody loves you.
Well, you know, we'll find out how much love there is. But I need this too. I need you to give. And this is a fundraiser, Gordon. You know, so I hope you gave. I mean, I know Christmas is just a couple days, but, you know, invest in you. You're not giving it to me. You're giving it to you and your children and your grandchildren. As my friend Dan Galbert tells me, and I was with him last night in Miami, so I almost didn't make it here. He said to me, he said at the reception, he said, all of you have given. If you didn't give, get to giving. Go on charliechrist.com and, you know, give him $1. Because he's running against 100 million of them. And then go get 12 friends to give $1. You know, because people power is stronger than their money.
That's right.
Right.
It is. It is.
Supreme Court too.
Supreme Court too.
Florida Supreme Court.
Yeah, but we gotta have enough to defend.
Absolutely.
I need a shield. You know, I feel like David and Goliath here. You know, but I need some rocks. Okay? I need some rocks. So thank you for giving me some rocks. I will not throw them into the pond. I'll throw them where they need to go, and I will hit the target for you. I will, because Florida deserves better. We have a very bright future, solar energy, so many other things that we can do, and we must do, and we will do. Better educate our children, protect our beautiful environment, and talk about the Supreme Court. If the other guy wins, he will appoint.
He won.
Hear me just for a moment. I believe what you say. I believe. But think about this. If he does, he will appoint 4 members of the Florida Supreme Court. Now, there's only 7.
Terrifying.
There's only 7 members. So 4, you know, I graduated FSU. I know this much. 4 is a majority. Right? So, you know, if he gets a majority, you know, it's not just bad for people who fight for justice, for lawyers. It's bad for gay couples. It's bad for women. It's bad for minorities. It's bad for the environment. It's bad for public education. I mean, forget about it.
Healthcare.
You know, healthcare, everything. Ethics. All of it.
Working people.
You got that. Middle class, hardworking people. I got your back. He does not, and he never will. He's trying to fool you now. He tried to fool teachers. So we're gonna give you $2,500.
Oh my God.
Didn't even do that. That's called fraud. Why would we be surprised? But I am hopeful. I have hope in my heart. And I know that we have a great future together. We're gonna have bumper stickers soon, Mark, I promise.
We'll put them at the headquarters.
Yeah, thank you, I appreciate that. I'm gonna need them not at the headquarters, I need them on your car.
Right.
It's called a bumper sticker, not a headquarters
I
sticker.
got Obama.
I know what you
It
mean,
will
I
come.
know.
Charlie will email everybody.
Pleasure, pleasure. But thank you for being here, and I want to wish all of you a very Merry Christmas. Happy holiday and a Happy New Year, because in this new year, we change everything. It's coming. It is coming, and it's because of you. God bless you, and God bless you.